Hello everyone and welcome back to part 7 of Learning Ethical Hacking. Now that we've enabled monitor mode on your wireless card, we can actually start to sniff packets, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. I'm going to open the terminal and just zoom in. Then what you can type is iwconfig, click enter and make sure the mode is monitor on your wireless card. So if you haven't watched the previous video, you need to find out how to put it into monitor mode. But to actually start sniffing packets, I'll do clear so it gets rid of that. You need to do aero dump -ng, then the name of that card, so WLAN 0 MON. Now, like I said in the previous video, it might be different for you, but for me it's WLAN 0 MON. If I click enter, as you can see, it's starting to sniff the packets locally. I'll explain what each one of these mean in a second. I'm just going to let it sniff more Wi-Fi routers in my area. Let's see if it picks up any more. Now, there's not many around me, but in fact, this should be enough. So if you want to stop sniffing packets now, you can press Control and C. That will stop it, and it will leave the information up, but it won't search for any more packets. So you should see a few Wi-Fi routers up here. Now the BSSID is basically the MAC address. So the MAC address is like the unique identifier, which has the source MAC address and a destination MAC address, so the packets are getting sent to and from the right location. PWR is basically power, and it's how close your wireless card is to that router. So obviously the further away the power increases, but obviously you want this power to be as close to 0 as possible, because that means then you're going to have an easier time sniffing the packets and getting the most useful packets from it. Hence why the furthest one away from me is actually -74, or just 74. Beacons, basically beacons are signals that the router sends out to let other devices know that it actually exists. And so think of it like a beacon, or like a lighthouse, for example. So it lets ships know that there's land, or it can, it knows it's close to land. It's very similar in the sense that it's letting other devices know it's there. Data is the number of useful packets that we have sniffed from these Wi-Fi routers. I will explain more on this later. This one here, so S, is basically the number of packets we have sniffed in the last 10 seconds. CH is the channel. So each router will work from a different channel. Now you might see some that are the same. In this case, these are all ones. But if you have two routers right next to each other, next to your computer, for example, or downstairs, wherever you have your routers, if you have two separate ones, and they're on the same channel, it can sort of like interfere with each other. So if I had two of these, for my second one, the channel should be like 11 or 6, because you don't want them to have the same channel, because then they'll, like I said, there'll be interference, the signal will be weaker, etc. MB is basically the maximum speed allowed, so they're all the same, 54E. ENC is encryption, so basically what they use to encrypt the packets. Most Wi-Fi routers these days are WPA2. Cipher is the cipher used to decrypt the packets. So all of these are using CCMP. There's other ones though, such as TKIP, I believe, from the top of my head, but don't quote me on that. Auth is the type of authentication required, but I will discuss more of this once we get onto WPA cracking. And the ESSID is just basically the name of the router. So that was it for this video. If it did help, please leave a like, comment if you're stuck with anything, and subscribe for the latest videos. I'll see you in the next video.